Well, for some insight into the Libya conflict, DeBar, an anti-war activist and journalist, joins me live now from the US. Thanks very much indeed for being with us here on RT. Now, Al Jazeera, I understand, is reporting that it has found evidence of a possible mass execution by Gaddafi forces, while the colonel has been accusing the rebels of killing civilians. Whatever the truth, Don, is there a danger that revenge killings are taking place and therefore NATO's humanitarian mission is being undermined?
Well, first of all, if there are revenge killings going on, let's look at what the motives for revenge might be. On the one hand, settling political scores, the rebels, and there's evidence, including video evidence, that the executions were by rebels of Libyan nationals who were handcuffed. That's the first thing. On the other side, any revenge killings would be defense, basically, of their homeland by invaders. So, it's hard to tell. I'm watching RT in the coverage over the last hour preparing for this, and the coverage on RT is much closer to the sources that I've been speaking with on the ground in Tripoli than the fantasy that is being played out both by Al Jazeera, and I'll get to that in a minute, what their motives are, and the Western press, CNN and the others, that talk about encircling Gaddafi, and as if they haven't retracted their claim that the rebels are in control of the majority of Tripoli. My understanding, and a report from on the ground, is that the rebels, who are actually Qataris, and that's the reason for Al Jazeera's partisan coverage, it's their army that came in and dressed as irregulars except for their officers, but they came in by the sea, and they're now on the sea road trying to escape under heavy government fire. So, it's pretty difficult to tell from our media what's going on, but it appears that the rebels, so-called, and the Qataris have been routed, and now the report that I had received earlier in the week that there were Qatari bodies strewn on the streets of Tripoli, this whole move to explain an incursion of Qataris to go protect against mustard gas has to be seen as some way to explain to the people in Qatar why dead bodies are coming back from Tripoli.
Well, let's also talk about this theme about mixed messages. The rebels are saying they're very close to capturing Gaddafi. Indeed, the other day they said they captured Saif, one of his sons. Do you think they themselves, whoever they are under pressure to deliver, and so giving out these prematurely optimistic messages? Obviously, for one thing, to get those funds from those countries like Italy.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's go again to motive. I'm curious who the maker of the check of $500 million will be. But certainly it's clear that the recipient is Jalil. And, this is a guy who only 2 weeks ago has been linked to the murder of his own general and then a purge of his council. So he ends up in control of, among other things, the finance ministry of the NTC. So it's unknown how exactly someone gets to write a check of Libyan sovereign funds, which, contrary to the propaganda, have been spent over the last 35, 40 years on the people of Libya, constructing housing that they own free of encumbrance, a healthcare system that's free, and an education system that's free. Those funds are now going to be handed over to a guy who you can't really characterize him as anything at this point but an attempted coupster.
Don, I want a quick reaction from you. Capturing Gaddafi, one would imagine that would message to the loyalists that it's all over, that they've got no future. But could this still turn out to be a long, protracted guerrilla war in Libya after it's all over, once Gaddafi's gone? Just very briefly, your outlook for the immediate future.
Very quickly, I've been referring to this as Obama's Bay of Pigs. The people of Libya are armed with more than 1 million weapons just in Tripoli. Gaddafi or no, the people are going to fight, and NATO's going to find itself in a quagmire.
Thank you very much indeed for your thoughts. Journalist and activist Don DeBar joining us live from New York State here on RT. Thank you.